Okay, everyone, so by now you'll be absolutely proficient, you'll be really happy and confident on how you are going to price your items. Now, you've obviously got everything up, you've got everything done with your listing now up until pricing. So now how are you going to store your stock? How are you going to make sure that none of your stock gets lost in time? And how are you going to make sure that when that sale does come through, you can get that item picked, packed and shipped straight out the door? So the next upcoming modules are on stock keeping and then shipping. So as you can see, our aim with these videos is that you can see exactly stage by stage how are you going to build a story, how are you going to get a timeline from you sourcing the stock all the way to getting out the door and getting that money into your account. So we're pretty much 3/4 way through the journey now. So now how are you going to store the item? Now, before I start the stock keeping module, there is one term that I really want you guys to understand because I'll be using it constantly throughout this entire module, throughout this entire lesson, and that is SKU. So SKU stands for stock keeping number. Now, what exactly does that mean? The stock keeping number is a little bit of a tag that is attached to the bottom of the item. It can be whether it's in your software, for example, if you're using software like ZipSale, again, we can mention this later. Or if you're just putting it in the description right at the bottom, you can have your SKU. Wherever you want to put it, make sure that it's visible on the listing. And again, we will show you this and teach you more about this later and in upcoming videos. Now, with the SKU, let's get started straight away. So first of all, before we get to all the nuances about different SKUs, different stock keeping systems, basic stock keeping at home or a small unit. So assuming that you're watching these videos just starting off in reselling and you just want to learn a little bit more about reselling. Now, why would you want to use SKUs? Why do you want to attach this specific random magic number to an item and instead of just going straight off the title? Now, SKUs allow for unique identification. Each of these SKUs are very, very unique to the specific item. It avoids confusion by assigning each product a unique code. Now, this can be absolutely anything. However, in this lesson, in this module, we'll teach you slightly more about how can you generate these numbers and what exactly does it mean? Now, again, unique identification, and it allows more inventory control as well. So you can track stock based on size, color, style, whatever you want to do. Again, don't get too confused. We'll teach you a bit more about these in upcoming videos and upcoming lessons. Order and replenishment, so you can easily restock popular items without overbuying. Now, these are for stock SKUs for if you are buying bulk products of the exact same. If you are listing unique items like generally what we do, then this is not applicable to you, so ignore that. However, if you have got a reselling business, for example, where you are selling, I don't know, caps, and you are selling exactly the same of these Ralph Lauren caps over and over again, and you have bought maybe 100 of them. Now, this is a way of you knowing which SKU is better for these caps. Again, don't get confused. We'll teach you more about these in upcoming videos. Now, what are the benefits of SKUs leading on from the last point that I was making? Now, accurate sales analysis. So you can track which sales are doing well and which ones are more slow moving. Again, this is really applicable to if you're buying one of the same, so hundreds of the same item. It is not as applicable for when you are doing many, many unique items like what we do, or if you're going to be using used clothing or vintage clothing. Each item is essentially unique in their own right. So this is not applicable to you. Now, better promotions, you can monitor sales impact from different marketing campaigns, see which exact items are doing better. And again, more so than anything at all, this is applicable to whether you're selling same of one item or if you're selling many unique items, thousands or tens of thousands of unique items. Warehouse efficiency. If you know exactly where an item is, you're going to locate the items quickly, and that reduces your fulfillment time. Fulfillment meaning when the item payment comes through and you shifting that item out of the door. That's essentially what fulfillment is. You may have heard of fulfillment warehouses. Again, that is more of an advanced topic. We will go over that later. Again, SKUs ensure that you've got error reduction, making sure that what the buyer has purchased off you is what they will receive. And it'll give you a lot more confidence in that and allow the buyer to receive exactly what they've got, leading to a better reputation, word of mouth, increased sales, increased repeat buyers. Now, how do SKUs or SKUs or stock keeping numbers, how do they help your business grow? So stock keeping units, they help your business grow by scalability. If you have a set SKU system from when you're a small reseller like yourself up until when you're doing tens of thousands a month like we are, we've been using the same SKU system for several years. If you have a scalable SKU system, you will not need to replace it for years and decades to come if it works. As many people say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you have a set SKU system, you can use that for many years to come. Customized reporting, again, this is more so for if you're using individual unique items. You can gain insights into stock movement and profitability, see which units are doing better, and you can, again, purchase more of these. But again, this is more for if you're buying bulk of the same item rather than unique items, because SKU systems, so when it comes to unique items, we'll go over this later on. However, SKU systems for specific items, these are, you'll be using the same SKU number because each item is identical, so there's no differentiation between one item to the other, if that makes sense. If you're a little bit confused, just drop us a comment, drop us a message, and we will get back to you exactly to go over this. And we will obviously make more videos in the future based off this in the channel and in upcoming courses as well. SKUs help your business grow by avoiding chaos. You can stay ahead when handling hundreds of items and orders, like we are doing, dozens of orders a day, and this avoids chaos. If you are confident that this SKU is for this buyer, marry them together, it avoids chaos. You can teach your system to workers, to staff, a bit more advanced, but we'll go over that later. Now, final thoughts. Without SKUs, it becomes incredibly overwhelming. Can you imagine if you have got 20,000 pieces in the store, tens of thousands of items in the store, and you have no clue where anything is? It just wouldn't work, will it? Now, this is incredibly important, even from when you're a small reseller with only 200-300 items, all the way until you're a large reseller with up to 100,000 items in the warehouse. If you have an SKU system, you will know where that exact item is, and you can pick it out with no hassle. Very easy that for yourself, and obviously at that stage, hopefully you'll have some staff to help you out. You can teach this method to anyone. It's very easy, very simple. Like I mentioned, set up your SKU systems early to scale your business. If you have a set SKU system, again, we'll go over that in our video where we'll go over different SKU systems that we personally use and potentially which ones are better for you. If you have a set SKU system and decide on it early from your as a small reseller, from when you scale up to a big reseller with tens of thousands of products, if you have it on early, you can scale your business and you can have your attention, divert your attention to more important things such as growing your business rather than the stress of actually picking the item out and making sure that you send the items off. Now, in the next video, we will teach you more about different types of storage systems. That'll be a bit more of a different format where I'll essentially strap a GoPro to my head and we'll go around our smaller unit, one of our units, and just teach you about what are the different SKU systems that you can have and what are the pros and cons between them. So if you want to watch a bit more of a different format video rather than these talking head videos, we will see you in the next lesson.